Okay, you guys, so welcome back. We have not done a thing. Matter of fact, from the last video you've seen to this video, it's only been 10 minutes. We literally popping this one right out in behind. So you might be watching it at a longer span apart, but in reality, it's 10 minutes since we last ended one video and now we're on to this one. This one's gonna be pulling our tape and popping all these bubbles, and we're gonna show you the order that we're going to do it in. We're going to pull the tape first instead of popping any of these guys, because upon breaking the tape and undoing it, everything's going to start flowing. As it flows, it's moving, you could generate more bubbles. The least amount of times you torch this is probably the better overall, considering it's a clear see-through flood coat. Last thing you want to do is burn your piece by extensively torching something way too long or staying in one spot way too long. So there's really not a point for us to pop these bubbles right now, then to break the tape, because it's going to start moving. Very little of this will fall off. The majority is going to stay up here, but it just allowed us to trap everything and move everything to where we need it, instead of getting this corner fixed over here and we've let a bunch fall off. So it just saved the bulk. Now we made this 2 gallons stretch over this piece, and now we're just going to release it. So with that being said, from the beginning, I think, what are we, Tom, 20 minutes, 25 minutes into it?
Yeah.
Something like that? Okay, so we're still within our working time. So no panic, no rush. We don't want to wait any longer, because if we take the tape off and it's getting into trying to gel and all that, we do want the edges to have a thin coat going over it, and we don't want to time it out, taking the tape off and hoping that it gets to where we need to be. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna leave that side on. And just like this, see, it's not no massive flood that's going to come off. And bam. Take them gloves off, and I'm gonna switch them. Now, all that happened here is now our little sides here have a nice glass coating to them, along with the surface. So the reason we like to pull the tape at about the 25, 30 minute mark, something like that, is because as we pull the tape, it's going to start flowing over here. Doesn't change anything in the center, but eventually that will catch up. What starts running over here will transfer back to the center, and because it's still self-leveling. So immediately when we pull the tape on the edge, it's going to be less on the edge, but that will catch back up, because the center will eventually start to shift over, because it's trying to still self-level. If you're too far into the gelling stage, you're going to pull that tape, it's going to start easing over here, and it's too far into the process from the middle to start sliding over and to catch up that difference. You could end up with a pour that kind of rainbows out towards the edge. So that is why we do that. So far, other than the bubbles, so far, this sucker is banging. So, what I do like to do, I've got a habit of wearing a hoodie all the time. It's got these little strings on. Anytime that I am getting ready to lean over a piece, to lean over a project in this amount, this volume, this size, anytime I'm getting ready to do that, always try to remember and take something like my hoodie off. The less things you have hanging as you're reaching, the less obstacles in the way, and really the debris that's probably on that with me moving over and introducing things over towards the piece, I want that to be as minimal as possible. So I'll take the hoodie off from that. Matter of fact, I need to get this pencil out of my ear. Tom, that'll be the one time I drop that sucker leaning over.
Yep.
So all I'm gonna do here, if you got a good view, Tom, if you got a good view, I'm gonna start coming at you. I'm gonna work about half of this project down, and then I'm gonna work the other side. So I'm gonna work this front first. Here we go. You can go back down there, however you wanna do it. I'm gonna go this direction, and then I'm gonna come over about where you're at and bring it down. Or do you want me to come back down here and bring it up to you?
Either way.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna start right here. Here we go. Now, one of the hardest things to do, we have so much glitter on this print, and we introduced more blue glitter that you can see here and there. So it's, you know, it gets tricky looking at bubbles versus glitter. They look identical almost. So, you know, you can always look back over your piece after you've done it, after you've popped all the bubbles. And here's the reality, the mercy of everything in everybody's room. I can't help what is in the air. There's things in the air floating around that I can't even see with my eyeball. So whether it be a hair, whether it be a microscopic little whatever, that you're at the mercy of that. Okay, we don't have a vacuum chamber. This is not a clean room that gets sucked out and all that stuff. We don't have that, and most of you all probably don't either. So you are at the mercy of whatever is going on. But I will tell you this, a lot of times what we'll do when we have a project of this size back here, before we get going, we will cover that project with plastic, and we will a very, very fine mist of water. We can actually spray, squirt here, squirt there, squirt there. Me and Tom are not running in and out of this room, so nothing else is coming in. It helps, that little fine mist will help hit anything in the air, put weight to it, and immediately make it drop. Then we'll take the plastic off, and then just like that, we're at the mercy, just like everybody else, for perfection. You're only going to be as perfected as, you know, as you can be. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. So I'm going to come down here at your end, Tom, and work this way. This is just the first time here, so I may do another one. So here we go. Now, I'm afraid that's where I'm going to have to leave you all right this second. Tom's giving me the signal here. We're close to our 10 minutes, so stay tuned. We're going to come back with one more video just to sew all this up.